This question is crystal clear, and the simplest answer is no. Yeah, no, we do not treat our breeders the same as our meat producing animal. But I guess we need to know why, and therefore this question is so relevant. And we'll spend a few minutes just to dive into why we treat these two categories of animals differently, because it is important to know why, so that when we are doing that, we can really drive the value into these animals, okay, so that we can benefit from the production process. Hello everyone, you are once again welcome to Ace Rabbit Farm, where we share our live experiences on the farm with you, and together we are growing in this rabbit industry in Ghana, so that each and every farmer get the first hand information right from Ace Rabbit Farm. Okay guys, so long story short, do we apply the same treatment rules to our breeders and our meat producing animals? I think I said earlier on the answer is no. But let us take a step back and then dive into it. Okay. Now, so I'm going to look at this answer from stages of the animal. I think that is the best way to go about explaining this this difference in practices. And I think the very first point to note is that all animals on the farm, regardless of age, regardless of stage in life, regardless of eventually, in our context, will eventually become meat. Okay. However, some animals will become meat earlier than other animals. Okay. So let's park that topic there. There are different stages of the animals. There are different stages where the animal becomes meat, and so forth and so on. Okay. Now, whilst the animal is on the farm, it goes through different cycles of from birth to weaning, and then from weaning it branches to become either a breeder or it branches to become a meat producing animal. So that is a stage. Okay, I'm going to try and put a picture on the board here for you to see the stages that the animals goes through. So from birth, bunny stages, all the way to okay, this is a different topic that we're going to be exploring. Okay, so from bunny all the way to, let me use the word, weaning stage. Then after weaning stage, we then do sexing, where we separate them into males and females. And then at the same time, we separate them into potential breeders and potential meat. So that point of weaning is the point of departure where we start implementing different type of treatments for our animals. Okay, so now we've established that principle. At the birth all the way to weaning, we give them exactly the same treatment. So now the question is, what treatment do we give them from birth all the way to weaning? And then after weaning, we separate them. Then what treatment do we give to meat producing animal on number one? And number two, what treatment do we give to breeders, the breeding animals for future communities? Okay. All right. Now let's look at the chart on the board, and then we can deep dive into it. Now, because our main product output is to produce the pure breeds, the good quality hybrids, so that other farmers can benefit from the genetic materials. Guys, we here at Ace Farm, we kind of handle our animals super careful, so that our farming community can really benefit. Okay. Yeah. So treating our animal the same, we ensure that from birth all the way to the time of weaning, guys, we give them exactly the same type of feed. We keep them with the doe so that they can build the confidence, they can build the emotional connection, they can build the ability to be on their own. And this is one top secret that I don't know if this is the right forum to reveal that particular secret, but of course, keep following this channel, guys, as we continue to grow together, because there's a massive secret that is hidden right here. Elliot has spoken about this over and over again, and I'm not sure if everybody has got a point. There are two types of weaning, or there are two effects when you wean the animal. There is a physical effect, and then there is the emotional effect. Not many people know this. Okay, so for today, we are talking about just the physical effect of weaning. And so your animal must be super ready before you wean them. Okay, the emotional discussion, guys, it is going to base on you, the farmer, your own observation, and how you relate to your animal. That is going to lead you to really identify the fact that there is an additional type of weaning. Okay, so over and above the physical separation of the bunnies from their mother, there is also an emotional separation of the animals from their mother. And that point is a huge topic that you and I need to explore. And we can only do that through observation. So I challenge you today, guys, go out there, observe your animal, especially during the time of weaning. Tell me in the comment section, how are your winners behaving? How are your does behaving after weaning, and so forth and so on? Okay. All right. Yeah. So basically now we have weaned the animals. And on one branch, of course, we have to do the sexing. Okay, guys, you don't, at this stage of weaning, depends on the duration you take to wean your animal, between 6, 8, 10 weeks, and also depends on the type of breed that you wean some of your animals. Some of these animals will already be sexually matured. So if you're not careful, you see brothers and sisters doing their own thing, and before you realize you have big problem, right? So when you wean them, the first thing that you do is you do the sex separation, where you keep all the bucks in one area and all the does in another area, just to avoid the potentials of inbreeding. Okay. So now we have done the sexing. Then, in addition to the sexing that we have done, you now look for the characteristics which is going to help you to select the next generation of breeders. Okay, I think one of our partners in South Africa said it very, very well. Is Gavin, and he says that for your selection of the next breeders, they must always be better than what you have before. So what this means is you need to be very careful to go through your animal from a breed standard point of view. Look for the characteristics that defines a breed, and then follow that characteristics, and then select your next generation breeders. Why? Your next generation breeders becomes the asset of your farm, right? Your next generation breeders becomes the asset of your farm. You now make the selection, of course, according to the need of your farm. You make the selection, and thereafter making the selection, those who were not selected then go straight for meat. Okay. Now, as a breeder, you select because you want to sell good quality to your existing customer base. Guys, this is where it becomes critical that when farmers are interacting with breeders, you need to be transparent in your communication and honest about what you intend to use their animals for. So now let's go to the meat animals. Guys, when we select an animal for meat, the intention is straightforward. This animal must be in and out of the farm within 3 to 4 months. And so what this means is we need to get this animal to produce protein very, very quickly. And what this also means is we need to keep them in a group of a lot of other animals, because we are not really in a rush. There's nothing special. We feed them unlimited pellet. You feed them unlimited hay. You give them good quality water. In addition, you give them the various minerals and supplements. Now, these animals are in your farm maximum 4 months. We do not implement any medication. We want this animal to be in and out of the farm. So no medication, no treatment for anything. Of course, you still have to keep observing for any potential illness that you can, then you have to do isolation. But the objective is so clear. In, out, duration 3 months, maximum 4 months, is ready for butcher. Okay, this animal, you can actually move them into a bigger cages where there could be 12 or 20 in one cage, but you feed them unlimited pellets. You give them abundant water, abundant mineral, vitamins, and then you give them unlimited hay. Okay, so they get a chance to grow very fast and become a useful meat producers for you. Your customers will be very, very happy. Okay, now let's move to the most critical one, which in this case are your breeders. Oh, wait, by the way, for your meat producing animal, that is where the record keeping stops. So guys, I mentioned earlier on that as a farmer, when you are going to go and buy an animal, You need to be very transparent in your communication, because for us, once an animal is declared as a meat animal, we no longer have to keep the record, right? Because what is the purpose of the record? The animal is good. We don't care about the color. We don't care about the color intensity, because at the end of the day, that animal is going for meat. So you need to be super, super transparent with your buying community for them to understand that this animal is going for meat, nothing more. It doesn't matter who the parents are, who the father is, who the sire is, and who the doe is. This animal is going for meat. So when you are buying this animal, be super, super careful so that you buy an animal for the particular purpose. You are buying this animal for meat. Okay? And they are usually cheaper. So you know where I'm going with this. Some farmers go there and say, we want it for meat. And yet they take it and they go and do breeding with it. And then the various problems start creeping up. And then it becomes the issue of the seller. Okay? Guys, just, you know the space. Okay? Now for our superstars, the breeders. Guys, this is where feeding, I think the main activity here is feeding and single cages. We've designed special single room cages for them, because these animals have been pre-selected to become the next generation of breeders. And we need to feed them to grow appropriately. So they grow according to what the standard is requiring, right? They grow according to age. You measure these weights. You measure the months, the weight. You double check that with the breeding standard, which we have in the ARBA and other rabbit organizations have got the various standards. So you follow that and make sure your animal behaves according to those standards. The color, features, the fur, and so forth and so on. Now, the only difference here is you feed them unlimited hay. Okay? Hay must never run out in your cage. Just put enough hay there. If they don't want to eat it, they're going to make cages out of it, hiding places out of it. But the hay must just be in abundance. The only thing that you need to monitor really is the pellet that you are feeding them. You feed them just the bare minimum so that they can have a balanced diet, and at the same time they grow appropriately. Okay, and there you have it. So you can see that these two categories of animals are totally different. Just after winning, they become totally different group of animals. And you as a breeder or as a rabbit farmer, you need to be aware of these differences, apply them appropriately, and your end customers will be super, super happy. Okay, guys, I think we've exhausted this question very, very well, but the floor is open. If you feel you need to ask more questions for us to go and dive into, please go ahead. I'm happy to devote a lot of time. In fact, we are going to be devoting a lot of time to Q&A going forward for the next, all the way until January, from November, December, January. We are going to be dedicating a lot of our time to Q&A, okay? Guys, yeah, so that's it. Until I catch you again, you know how we do it here at Ace Rabbit Farm. Boom, 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 boom. Keep farming, and I will catch you again, okay? All right then. Bye.